You live with Sthembiso. So without any should I probably say indicated? No. Okay, without any waste of time, I want us to look at something that's very important. Remember when I said last week, in fact not last week, but a couple of days ago, for it's not the day before yesterday, yes, the day before yesterday, on a video that I posted. That's something to do with the reason why we don't go through. Sorry guys, I could not post yesterday. That's the first thing. I could not post yesterday because I was just busy with my students, and obviously it took me longer than I thought it would do. So if by any chance I did not post anything on the specific day, guys, just bear with me. I know that I'll still be posting, and something good is still going to be coming out. Okay, so we're looking at, remember yesterday, remember when I said on the last video, I said this is what we're looking at. The pairs that we're looking at are the following ones, or the stuff that we're buying. It's this one. They're looking at are those ones, but starting from the bottom one going upwards and stuff. So as we are going to be doing it like this, I will definitely go through the list, the stuff that we're supposed to go through yesterday, and then I'll start with I'll definitely start with the new one, and then we're gonna check yesterday how it went, and the analysis. Did they go our way? Did they go our direction? Did they follow what we actually predicted if it's gonna do? Okay, so this is V75 1S. It was previously was 101S volatility. In short, I will just call it V. Okay, so now with V75, we're looking from daily going downwards, right? Whatever reason I'm not going through weekly, it's because there's not a lot of work. It's not a lot of years this thing has been around that it could go through weeks and stuff and things like that. So, or at least my platform that I'm using doesn't show the other years that it was not there. So I said again, at the same time, it's very crucial and very important to know that the information that use the little information that you have in order not to confuse yourself, right? So that's the first thing. The little information that you have will make it more simpler and more easier for you to access the stuff that you need to access in the market, right? So if you candlestick can give you can keep you a long way. I remember one of my mentors said this, Sthembiso, in the olden days when people started trading, they only had one candlestick, right? I'm just gonna just throw it a little bit. They only had one candlestick, and it went on and got simplified as years went by, right? So they would have something like the following. They would have a candlestick. I'm just gonna give example. A candlestick that is just that, and obviously, maybe I'm just giving an example, right? Just drawing a random candlestick, right? They will have a candlestick that just looks like this, and that's a yearly candlestick. So those who love investing and love to put in their money in investments or something like that, so they will have to analyze the move of the rest of the year based on this movement, right? So based on this movement, they were able to analyze and do I know probably this thing is going to be filled up until there, so I can, if the price by any chance opens up here and it goes lower, so wherever I think my lowest point or in the middle of this candlestick, I'm just we're not yet in class yet, so because I'm not here to teach, I'm just here to give some analysis, and we're going out, right? So my student will know that in the middle of person comes about here, it's going to be a good year for me, because probably I will enter my buy in here, because probably it's 50 or 61, somewhere around about here, right? According to the Fibonacci ratios, right? And then going upwards, and things like that, and round about either there or in the middle of this, I take out my profit for that here. So they would have only this in order for them to predict the market, whether nicely or badly. They will have only that. So it's not by mistake that we've got only this, because it didn't start long time ago. It just only started now recently, right? So we're going to analyze the market based on that, right? So first, what are we looking at? We're looking at the trend, right? Number one, adds trend. Sorry, I know that trend is not a right thingy, should I say trendy thingy. So yeah, I'm just gonna use this and just cancel out something here. Yes. So so we know that in this case we've got a trend, right? Number one, we need to look at the trend of the market, right? Number two, we are going to look at the trend goes with our highs and our lows. Where is our true support and resistance? S&D, right? Sorry, not S&D. Okay, supply and demand. You can call it that, or S&D, or you can call it SNR, right? As an R, right? So if you call it S and R, supply and demand, you look at that. So where our key areas of this market, right? So luckily I've already done this, and looking at the keys based on I've got my kid around me, so I'm gonna gently ask him to go. Prosperity, go to your mom. He's 1 year old, guys. Yeah, go to your mom. Mom calling you. Yes. Go to your mom. Mama, padle. Sambil mo. Sambil mo. Sambil mo. Mama. Okay, guys. Sorry about that. He's gone now. Okay, as he's really young, guys, and he likes being around where I am always and all the time. Okay, so now we're looking at where's the market headed. In this case, we will definitely point to the downside. That's where the market is headed, right? A lot of people, when we started trading, we had a lot of things that had to do with, yeah, if the market is oversold, and roundabout here, I'll be expecting a push to probably up there. I've never been a scalper, and I still can't scalp, right? So I don't like scalping because there's a lot of emotion involved, and not only just emotion involved, there's a lot of things that are going on with scalping, so which is a pressure that I cannot handle, right? So short trades and swing trades and position trades is what I love. So now looking at this, we understand that, okay, we're looking at our key areas of resistance and key areas of support, or key areas of supply and demand. So let's use it in terms of support and resistance, right? This is resistance. That's where the market resists to go up. This is where the market finds comfort. I normally call it that, support, right? And every time it touches this, there's going to be a bounce, unless obviously in this case it broke out, right? So now when looking at the market, we're looking at, now it created what we call a low, right? And it pushed up, created a high. and then this low was confirmed by this 1-2 lows confirmation. That tells me that this is a strong area of supply, and I will consider to be very, very efficient and very, very important as well, right? And then it went on. You might not see this, but if you go to a smaller time frame, then this one you will notice and realize that this is also a support in here, that because it pushed up, right? So anybody that probably would have seen this would have been like, yes, that trades based on just corrections and feeds on those things. If they check this and they're like, very interesting, I think the market is going to stay here until for some time, right? So in this case, it didn't happen like that. In this case, something like this happened. It is a low. That's a first low. Sorry, I wrote 4, but that's a first low, and the second low, and the third low. So there's nothing very crucial about third low, second low, and whatsoever, and all of that. But I'm just drawing it like this. Only thing that this thing tells you, it tells you that this area is very important. This is an area where buyers and sellers are very interested in, right? So when sellers are like buyers, when they pass this line, they like buyers. Buyers are like, no, we're not going to get in the market. Let's wait until a better price again, and then we can buy back up again. Where sellers, if they cross this thing, they're like, yes, we're in control. We can just ride it. We can put all of our money in here. As you can see, and that's what they did. Okay, pushed up, created a high here. And what's more important that you need to take note of when the market is trending and it creates something like this, a strong area of support, you need to look at what's important. What's important for me here when I was looking at this trade, I saw that this is a high, right, that it created. And it created, regardless of the support in here, it created a lower high. Okay, this was a lower high, and obviously it created another lower high, meaning that buyers are losing what you call them, they depleted their money already enough, so now they don't have much pressure to push the market to the upside. In other words, sellers are more in control. And I look at the pressure at which the sellers drove the market to the downside was pretty much big, right? And as pushed the market to the downside with a lot of pressure, was telling me something or indicating something to me that what we're definitely going to see on this market is definitely a lot of sell coming into the market, because now this is confident that we are bold enough that we want to drive this market to the downside as the sellers, right? We've got a saying that I will always say: we as traders and opulence kings, we anticipate to participate. So as I was sitting here, I anticipated, because it's a sell, right? It's a downward trend. So what I anticipated something that has to do with confirmations of sells in here. That's what I anticipate if it's a market going to the downside, right? So when I see confirmation fully showing off, then I participate, because I don't have the power to drive the market to the downside. Neither you, probably on the other side listening to me right now, right? But you participate based on what the big boys are doing, because based on what the guys are doing, the banks and the hedge funds and all of this, that's what they're doing. So you participate on what they're doing. So in this case, they dropped the market to the downside, and they eventually were able to break through. And if you were to cut the market, probably look at this point. Let me just kind of draw something in here. If this thing is going to allow me. Hopefully it does allow me. Let's say you don't know anything that has to do with us. It's my first time actually using this. I've been using another one that is not different. Let's say this was it, and then no. I need to cancel all of this. Let's say this part was not showing. This part was not showing. You would have seen this thing as a lower, lower, lower high, and then obviously pushing the market to the downside. That's what I actually wanted to kind of make clear. But the market was able to pushing here to come to the downside, and now a successful what? A successful low that was created in here. Just when you look at this area, but now you wouldn't call this a very proper low because of it did not to the downside, right? So and it's still continuation of this, you can see, and then it comes back, retest this area. That's when we entered our cells in here, and then we entered our cells and we were able to drive the market to the downside, and we got off somewhere around about this candlestick, because this candlestick to us was saying anything is possible. So we were able, comfortable enough to take our profit in here, right? After a couple of days, like 2 or 3, 4, I think 4 days. Yes, after 4 days. So now we're able to take our profit in here, going to the downside, right? And obviously we took our profit. So now what I want you to understand with this one, where is the market going? Because all of that nonsense, Sthembiso, I want to know, where's the market going? Is the market going to the downside? Is the market going to the upside, right? Like I said, it's a full analysis that gives you all heads up and all entries. Somebody gave me a message and saying, Sthembiso, I want to know if this where can I enter the market and where can I not enter the market, right? So I want to show you where you can probably enter the market and not enter the market. Let's go to a live chart, and then I'll draw some lines in the live chart. Probably will take some finish the drawings. Okay, this is the live chart. Okay, going up and down, that's a live chart. Okay, so now looking at the live chart, what's happening on the live chart? The area of interest that I am looking at again in here, let me take out this because this is useless now. Let me take out, this is what I'm looking at. An area of interest that I'll be looking at here are these two areas. These two areas. Somebody said to me, yeah, but is that showing you, is that not showing you, you're not sure? I'm like, that's showing me that I know my probabilities. That if the market doesn't, if the market touches here and doesn't give me the confirmation, probably I'll get it here. If I don't get it, then obviously I'm not wrong. I just predicted that, and it didn't come out the way I wanted. If it did come out here, I would have gotten the trade, because this is not about who's wrong and who's right, but this is about the chances, the probability that this market will go in the direction that you want it to go, right? So now what I will be looking at here, I'll be just to give you a little bit of indication, I'm looking for the market to give me something like sort of a push to the upside, but you not enter this based on 1 or based on daily, because here you're going to need a huge candlestick that gives you like a doji or something like that, a hammer that tells you that this thing is going to the upside. You need, but to me, with this candlestick that I'm seeing here, there's no chance that this thing is going to push to the upside. So probably remember what I said to you last time. What I said is we use what we call, most of the time, in order to predict where's the market going to, where we're going to take our profit and when we're going to enter the market, right? So what we do is, this is what we do. And the low point, and we mix it together. Like I said, getting out of this trade was, for us, was the best thing that we could ever do for ourselves, right? And then we got out of this trade because here in this candlestick, like I said, and thank God that this thing showed a confirmation enough, that because we got off this candlestick, and this candlestick we were able to get off, because that's what a day before yesterday we were able to get off this trade, and because it was a 61. And what do you know about 61? Like I told you yesterday, 61 tells you that the market is probably done, finished, right? So now what are we expecting? Now to be probably slightly like do some predictions. I would probably wait for the market to give me a bit of a push to either here or there, right? And when the market reaches somewhere, either one of those areas, I'll be looking forward for more buys. But if this needs to come in the middle here. Remember, the middle is very important, right? So either one of these areas needs to give me that. And once I get that, then I'll be able to push the market to the downside. So now, on 1 hour, on daily, you're probably going to expect something that has to do with us. So now you say, Sthembiso, you're trying to tell me that I should continue to sell this market? If you want to, you can continue to sell the market, but based on what now? Based on what? Based on thinking that is going to come in here. What if it returns somewhere around about here and we're not part of it? Anything can happen, anything can happen. So now let's go down, because I think my time, I'm going over it. Okay, so now let's check again on 4 hours. 4 hours. What are we looking at on 4 hours? Like I said, few candlesticks are more than enough to tell you a lot about the market, right? You can see that I drawn this line here and we're able to get out somewhere around about there, because obviously, like I said, on H1, on daily, that's what we saw, right? So now, what are we looking at on H1? H1 tells us, or H4 tells you that this is still a market that goes to the downside nicely. So let's draw some lines and see if this thing is giving us what we're looking at. So up to you whether you want to take the whole thing or you want to take just a little bit of a small one, retrace, small one, retrace, small one. It's up to you. Like, it's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you, whichever one you want to take. But that's a low. That's a low. That's a low. That's obviously confirmed with this one, and that's a low, right? And remember what I told you. This is a very important low. What am I exactly looking at here? Let's go to the live chart, because our time is running out, right? So now what are we looking at in here? What? Sthembiso with that area, but right now what do I see? I see that the market did what I thought it would probably do when I was analyzing. I see to the downside, right? So this was a support, sorry, this was a resistance. Okay, support here and resistance, and now the market is continuing to the downside, which is a pretty much good thing for us. And to where I was anticipating, I don't know. I really don't know. But if you want to do a little bit of some small profit and taking out, like I said, some entries that some of you were asking me, where are the entries, right? So obviously this was an entry here, and you can still enter this one and go down with it until there, right? Or probably until here, depending on where the market lands. So you get in here, you lock in the profit, and you let it run. If it comes back, hit you, it's still fine. You've locked in the profit. You're not going to lose anything, right? Hopefully. So now, what's the next thing? The next thing that I probably see here is the market going to push to the downside, which is a pretty much good thing, right? On 1 hour, what do we see? 1 hour, it's the same thing. Like I said, so the candlesticks, I made them smaller. It's based on this, guys, because this is my setups multi-time frame analysis, and obviously I made it smaller so I will be able to see the entries and everything, right? So the market's still pushing to the downside, and if it's pushing to the downside, we would probably enter in this, and we'll probably make some few entries in here. But that's a lot, guys. Yeah, you see the entry where the entry was somewhere around about there, but we're not in the entries yet. I will show you the entries as time goes on. So let's go on. Let's go on. Obviously, on the 1 hour, we got an entry there, and then we're waiting for the market to break down low this area. Let me show you. Waiting for the market to break through, download this area, and come back and retest, and then I will be able to take my trade. But remember, on 4 hours, it tells you that it's still coming down strongly. On H1, it tells you that wait for this breakout, because there's this area of support, but it's not a strong support, guys. Like, really, like I said to you, high, and obviously this one shows you that that's what is happening. This is not looking at my own moving averages that I have designed, and I've actually tested a couple of times. They work pretty much well, right? And this was a confirmation for a sell, which you could have entered somewhere around about there and going down low, which is still good. It's going to be a nice one. So like I said, a break in here, continue to the downside. You wait for a retest, and then you go to the downside with it nicely. So, and let's yeah, just spend a lot of time analyzing one page. It's quite a lot of work. So let's go check what are we our work doing to us. Okay. um Hopefully it's right. Take just 1 minute. Okay, let's I'm not trading on this account, guys. Doing some analysis on this one. I'm trading on this. And obviously the other one that I'm trading on. Hope you guys are ready for this. We're able to take the most out of the market in here. I think so. Where is this? My time is gonna kill me. It's gonna take longer. Okay, V100, V100, V100 1S, V100 1S. So we'll be right, we'll be wrong, and where are we going now? Okay, I already made it. Just a little bit of a quick through, a check through. We were expecting, I said this market is going to push to the upside, come to this point, and then come and retest. In fact, around about here we will expect a little bit of a pullback, but obviously we're going to the upside. So yes, because it's a bias market, and you can see this candlestick tells us that we're going to the upside, and pretty much nice. On H4, 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 yes, we're going to the upside. However, this area was an area of interest that we thought the market was going to fall down, but did not, right? Went drive through, McDonald's drive through. So, and KFC is going to drive through now. We didn't have a drive through in South Africa and KFC. Oh, in Mpumalanga, yes, Mpumalanga, we didn't have one. I think they had. So now, areas of interest. Okay, one has been touched, and probably it depends on which one you take as an area of interest. Okay, but you need to train your mind for it, right? So I sometimes put it there, and I sometimes put it in the body, right? Depends on whichever one. So I want to put it just in the middle of the two, right? So now what's the area of interest here? An area of interest is an area where you are anticipating, right? You're saying, Sthembiso, I'm anticipating to participate here or there. I'm anticipating to participate in. Why? It's because the market now on H4 was telling me that it's coming down, great, and now there's a huge push to the upside. When it was pushed to the upside, and then after this, when I get something like a push of a candlestick that tells me buyers are getting back up again, then I was definitely expecting this kind of a fall. Maybe not there, but I was expecting a fall somewhere. A fall had to happen. You know why? The fall? We're in control of the market, so they're just not gonna let buyers win just like that. So they're going to push the market either to, they're going to try to push the market to the downside, and buyers are going to let them try and think that they're in control back up again. But you know what? They're not in control. So two areas of interest, in fact, three areas of interest that I'm looking at here. First area of interest is this one where I've drawn those lines back then, right? Together on the last video. And then now another area of interest as the following. This one. This is the second area of interest because obviously the market tried to come in here, creating a resistance, could now be the support. I don't know, but anything is possible in here, right? So now again another area of interest, but obviously this one, if it comes in here, my man, it gives you a lot of thoughts, but I hope it doesn't come here. Hopefully it doesn't come there. So yeah, definitely add on H1 and areas of your market. If you analyze your market and you mastered your market in H1, please trade your H1. I'm doing multi-time frame analysis because multi-time frame analysis, that's where I think I can cover a lot of people since I'm posting in here. Interest, probably like I said, I look at the market where it's going. In this things, I'm just checking areas of interest. On day, I'm checking areas of interest. On H4, I'm checking areas of interest. On H1, I'm checking areas of interest. My entries, most of them, I make them at 15 minutes, 5 minutes, or whatsoever lower time frame, because of this small tiny little move that could maybe haunt you and kill you, and obviously do something bad to you. So yeah, so that's definitely it. And I've already entered here, but now I'm going to lock the profit in here, right? I'm going to lock the profit in here, and I would definitely, after locking the profit in here, and let it run. So I'll show you. Probably on the other account, I don't have trades that are running. So probably I do have trades running. I don't know, but if they are red, okay, obviously you go. I've got one trade running. I think it was running since from yesterday, something like that. It was running since from yesterday. I'm gonna take my profit. No, we'll have to lock in here. I'm looking here because obviously all my RSIs and everything. So hope you guys enjoy it, and you love it. So see you next time, probably tomorrow. Of pairs, what we're looking at, and I would have already analyzed them, and what are we looking at for the next week, because there are people that are taking a break of the weekend. So we'll probably do that. If I do that, then obviously, hope you guys are would definitely enjoy that. So definitely, okay.